One frustrating build. Now, don't get me wrong. I think this can be a very rewarding kit if you stick with it. But when I built it like 5 years ago, there was just so much trouble. Most things didn't fit right. There were numerous mold issues, like even warping on some pieces. Some of the spars were only half formed. I think that last issue was due to the fact that there was so much flash that literally they ran out of plastic and the molds didn't fill completely. Anyway, I let Revell know about the spar issue and they sent me a replacement for the spar in question, but it was kind of annoying nonetheless. The vacuform sails are also really annoying, and mine were crinkled. Having sailed on tall ships, I also noticed that the rigging guide provided was wrong. I suppose they were trying to simplify it, which actually makes a whole lot of sense because I went ahead and tried to rig the head sails properly, and then I got tired of individually drilling holes for every single block. Did I mention that the kit comes with over 100 blocks? I think it was like 200 and something for block and tackle, and every one of mine had been molded so poorly that the holes were filled in. Anyway, after the head sails, I just went ahead and mostly followed the instructions for rigging, with a few upgrades here and there for things that clearly didn't make sense. I also wish the scale were different. I really like the 172 scale because it just makes a lot of sense to me that 1 inch would equal 6 feet in real life. This is 183 scale, which is close to that, but off by just enough to be weird. I think maybe Revell made the model a certain length and then figured out that the scale would be 183 rather than figuring out the scale and then making the kit whatever length that would be. Anyway, despite all the problems, I did actually feel quite proud of the finished product. And I suppose it is nice to have some hurdles to overcome, or else what the heck would I whine about? Who knows? Maybe Revell has redone their molds, and if you purchase it, it will be fresh and clean with no issues at all. I do know that at least they updated the box for the 400th anniversary, but I mean, that was like 3 years ago. So hopefully things will be better. And honestly, I think even with the frustrations, it's a very worthwhile build. For one, I normally build 172 scale aircraft, and I feel very strongly that many of the lessons regarding fit and finish on this one helped me overcome similar issues in my planes. The FH-1, for example, had one significant fit issue that I felt equipped to tackle after having dealt with the Mayflower. Also, the Flout, that's the type of vessel it was, is an incredibly beautiful design. Fun fact, the reason it was pear-shaped was to pay less Danish taxes, which were assessed by the area of deck rather than the volume of the hull. And of course, the Mayflower is an iconic and incredibly important ship in American history, honestly, probably world history too. As far as I know, this representation is a best guess at what the Mayflower would have looked like. I think, but I don't know, that Revell based this kit off the modern replica of the Mayflower, which was probably pretty well researched, but we don't actually have the plans or the remains of the real Mayflower. And technically, in 1620, there were tons of ships named Mayflower. If memory serves me correctly, there were over 30 in England. And why not? I mean, it's a pretty name. I think that building the model also gives you a little perspective on what it must have been like for 150 sailors and settlers crammed in there. The kit does come with a few little tiny figures, and if you multiply them to imagine 150, it would be pretty darn crowded. So, should you build this kit? Well, I say yes. Granted, you will probably have some challenges, but take heart. Just imagine those first Plymouth settlers and all of the challenges they had to overcome. And then, probably removing flash and drilling a few extra holes won't seem so bad. By the way, if you have any questions about this kit, I could hold it for you too. If you have any questions about this kit, feel free to shoot me an email. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have any questions about the actual Plymouth settlers, the Pilgrims, if you want to call them that, I'd be happy to entertain them. I'm actually getting very close, by the way, to finishing some other projects, so don't forget to subscribe. I got sidetracked because I wanted to make a knife, and so I made a knife, and so I'm close, though. I'm getting close. Also, as always, please let me know if you liked this video by clicking on the like, and also let me know if you didn't like it by clicking on the dislike. But also remember, let me know why you didn't dislike it, because if there's something that I can do differently or something that I can do better, well, I want to do it. And actually, now that I think about it, if there was something that you liked about the video, maybe let me know about that too, because like if everybody liked my thing about the vacuform sales or whatever, and there's the one weirdo that didn't like that, and I only heard from the weirdo, well then, I don't know, your voice might not be heard. Anyway, whatever you do, I wish you joy in your lives, and I hope to see you again soon.